Hey, happy Sunday. It's 8 o'clock. So, you know what that means. It is once again time for Self Care Sundays. So, come on in, go ahead and get comfortable, invite some friends, go ahead and like and share this post um, so I can give you reminders and announcements and all those good things. So, I'll give you a minute to get yourself situated, grab a snack if you want to. Do what you need to do, but get comfortable. And as always, uh, as always, leave me a message and let me know you're here watching. I'm over here trying to brush what I thought was crumbs off my shirt and this glitter. Anywho, hope you guys have had a wonderful week, that you are out celebrating Black History Month and doing all the things culturally. I had the awesome pleasure of going to um, New Smyrna Beach for the Black Heritage Festival yesterday. And then today I went to a music program celebrating Black history through music at the United Presbyterian Church that we share space with. And they had opera and jazz and all kinds of different genres of music. They had a harpist, they had a woodwind trio. So it was really a really great program. They had a little high school baby that sang opera and had me in tears. Y'all know I'm a proud auntie of all the nieces and nephews. I was like, oh, it's beautiful. I love to see the babies flowing in their gifts. I don't care how young or old. They make me proud. So I hope you've had a chance to get out and celebrate and make some history this month and all that good stuff, and do some positive things. If you haven't, you still got a few days left to go ahead and do that. So don't worry. Just, find some time to go out and do something, or leave your mark, or a little bit of both. Um, Anywho, otherwise, other announcements, as always, leave me a comment. Let me know that you're watching so your name can go into the drawing for this month's prize, which is Blind Date with a Book. If you don't know what that is, I haven't wrapped it up yet, so I can't show you. You get literally a blind date with a book. You don't know the genre or anything like that. The book comes wrapped, and in the little pockets of the wrapping, there's goodies for your blind date. So you'll get like your book, bookmarks, get some tea, some treats, some stickers, some other fun little things for your date with your book to help you relax and enjoy your self-care time. So I have 2 different blind dates with a book, and I'm going to wrap them both up, and whoever the winner is will get to choose which one they want. So next month, I'm giving away a beautiful shower curtain in honor of Women's History Month. It's got a beautiful lady with a big fro on it, and it is from a Black-owned company. I can't remember the name of it right now. It's something about my fro, but I'll tell y'all about that a little later. So anywho, don't forget to leave me a comment and let me know you're watching so your name can go in the drawing. Because I got some really good prizes, and I really just want to love on y'all and let you know that I appreciate you coming here on Sundays to give me your time, to hang out with me, to let me pour into you and share all these good nuggets and stuff with you guys. Excuse me. So hopefully you're sharing, you're inviting other people to like the page. And I also have a favor to ask, because I'm trying to boost my followers as well as build my credibility. If you have benefited from watching these Self-Care Sundays, if you've been to any of my events, if you were a former therapy client, if I have served you or your family in any capacity professionally, go ahead and leave me a review, please, and let the folks know what you think of my services, these lives, books, any products you may have, whatever. Let the folks know. You can do that on my page. Just click reviews and you can write up whatever you want to write. And I appreciate it in advance, okay? Other announcements, don't forget this Saturday, February 28th at 10 a.m. here in Daytona Beach at 128 Orange Avenue, Sacred Space, not Sacred Space, Preventing Burnout Behind the Sacred Desk. This is for pastors, ministry leaders, anybody that's serving in ministry in any capacity. This workshop is for you. So if you work on finance, if you're an usher, a greeter, if you work in the parking lot, if you're a musician, a worship leader, a pastor, apostle, prophetess, evangelist, whatever your title, role, and position is, if you are serving in ministry in any capacity, this is for you. It is totally free. All you have to do is register to reserve your seat and show up. We're going to have some refreshments because I believe in feeding folks when I'm asking for their attention for a few hours. But it's going to be an amazing time to talk about things that cause burnout while you're serving. It's going to cause, we're going to talk about things to prevent that burnout. We're going to give you plans, strategy, and tips for success, to put structures in place to help delegate the work, to help share the load so that you can serve without running down too quickly, without being burnt out and just tired of the work, because ministry is a labor of love. So we want you to be working smart and not hard or against the grain. And we also want you to have a plan for rest and self-care because it's super important. So you'll get all of that and more in this workshop. If you're not local here to the Daytona Beach area, you can sign up for the virtual one the following Saturday on March 7th at 10 a.m. And you'll receive the link and your packet and all of that via email. You'll get the links and stuff for the event when you sign up, and then you'll get a reminder email a few days before that has your link to download your packet. So if you signed up for the virtual one, make sure you print that packet out. You're going to need it. Lots of good info in there, space for you to take notes because everything's not in the packet. You got to show up and pay attention and interact. All right. So that's coming up the end of February, beginning of March for the virtual folks. Also in March, ladies, if you have not gotten your tickets yet, go ahead and do so. For a very small fee, you can join us for a 7-day virtual women's summit. Sacred Space, conversations your mama didn't have. I'm so excited about this event and the conversations and the opportunity for women to come and heal and glean and be empowered, and so many things that happen when you have safe spaces to talk and share and lay your burdens down. So please plan to come and join us. I have some phenomenal ladies coming to lead these conversations and share some of their expertise and experience with us. And it's not just a place where you're going to be preached to or presented to. It's truly a conversation, a space for you to talk about these topics. We're going to be covering things like parenting, what it means to be single, successful, and childless, whether that's you don't have children, you lost a child, your children have moved out, whatever capacity that is for you. We're going to talk about all of that. We're going to talk about thriving after divorce. We're going to talk about the sensual woman. We're going to talk about hiding in plain sight, the abuse we allow. That's our DV and toxic relationship night. And listen, if you haven't had a toxic relationship, God bless you. That ain't my testimony. But we want to talk about things to help us stay out of those, to recognize the red flags and the signs a lot quicker, and how to recover from those things, how to hold people accountable when we see the red flags, to know, okay, either they're going to acknowledge it and fix it, or we got to go. But we're going to talk about all of that. We're also going to talk about the sensual woman, what it means to embrace your sensuality, and the weight of responsibility that's put on women to be kept, to not be ran through, to downplay our sensuality and sexual desires and all of those things, and the problems that it sometimes causes. You know, when when those things are suppressed and not talked about, not no education is provided, all of that kind of stuff. So we're going to cover a lot of ground in these conversations. So I hope you will come. You can bring your teenagers if you have them. So if you're in a household, you don't have to pay per individual. You and your children or whoever is in your household, if you purchase that ticket, hey girl, it is for whomever is in your household. Even if you have a group, you can purchase a ticket and jump on the live. Just remember that it is going to be via Zoom. So if you have a lot of people, sharing is going to be a little different. So be mindful of that. But we just want you to come and be blessed and be poured into and have an opportunity to share in a safe space. So if you know somebody, please share it. I posted the flyers. I have another flyer that has all the speakers on it and the topics. The tickets are available at my website. That's cjaquise.com. It's $35 for all 7 nights, $7 a night if you do individual. But I'm encouraging you to come for the whole thing because I truly believe it's going to bless you. Even if you feel like a topic doesn't apply to you, you never know what you may gain from that session. And don't worry, if you can't come at that time, the replay links will be available. So if you got to work, if you got Bible study or whatever that night and you can't log in, you can catch the replay. Okay? So you're not going to miss out. Just make sure you register to come and share it with somebody else, even if you can't. Other announcement is our annual mental health retreat. That is in May, the 14th through the 18th. We have a beautiful Airbnb with a private pool and hot tub. I have amazing colleagues coming to share and lead workshops. The theme this year is Discovering Me. So ladies, if you haven't gotten your tickets for that, I do have a few spaces left. They are shared rooms, so I hope you are comfortable making new friends and being cozy, but a lot of time won't be spent in your room anyway. It's mainly going to be for sleeping because we're going to be out and active and growing and being poured into and having fun and relaxing, working on our mental health, discovering who we are meant to be, and all those good things. So we have Classy Claus Catering coming back to do food for us again this year. She did a phenomenal job last year with our brunch and our dinner. We had a ton of food and it was delicious. So if you plan on coming to that, your food is covered. Most of the meals, snacks, all those things are covered in your fees. I think the only meal that's not is dinner that Thursday night because it's really late evening check-in, and then Sunday morning brunch because we'll be planning to go out. But other than that, your food is covered. Breakfast, lunch, dinner, and snacks on Friday, and Saturday brunch and dinner. So Sunday meals are on your own, but the rest of the food and snacks is covered. And drinks. So all you got to do is come, bring yourself, be open to receive and be poured into, and expect a great time. All right. So I think that's all for announcements right now. I do have some other things coming up, some places that I'll be, and I'll share some of those with you that are public. But some of them are not, so I can't share because they're private events. But I've been blessed to be invited to come and speak at some amazing events to some groups of young people, and I'm super excited to do that. Always willing to come out and speak and share knowledge about any of the topics that I know, anything mental health, ministry related, prayer, intercession, burnout, rest, self-care, any of those things. There's a bunch of other topics too. But you can book me. I have suitcases. We'll travel. So I still want to come in and talk to you and your group. And the mental health tour is still in the planning stages. So don't forget about that. That'll be coming up later this year. All right, so that's all I got for announcements right now. Hey, Ebony. Tonight's topic is community care. So I know we always talk about self-care, but I don't want to leave this aspect of self-care out because care is a reciprocal thing. We care for ourselves, we care for our communities care for us because none of us is an island. So there are things that we can contribute to our communities just like our communities contribute to us. But also on a larger scale, there's somebody out there who needs your knowledge and wisdom. Somebody who may not have had parents that were knowledgeable about certain things. Somebody who may have had, maybe going through an experience that you've already walked through. Someone who just may need a friend or who doesn't have family. All kinds of situations and circumstances leave room for us to engage in community care. So what does that look like? You giving back at whatever capacity you're able to. It could be volunteering for an event. It could be donating to a cause. It could be showing up to serve at a soup kitchen or a food bank. It could be you taking a person under your wing and mentoring them or helping them walk through a hard space in life. How do I know? Because I've been in all those situations, sometimes on the giving end and sometimes on the receiving end. When I first moved here to Daytona, it's been 10 years, y'all. Can y'all believe it? It don't seem like that long. But when I first moved here, I didn't know anybody, not a single solitary soul. And if you've ever relocated, you know that can be a very difficult thing, especially when you're far away from all your family, friends. The closest person I had was my uncle who lives 2 hours away. And the whole time I've been here, he's only been to Daytona once. I've been to see him several times, but he's only been over here once. So I'm close to my family. We all lived close together pretty much my whole life. Somebody lived down the street, a street over, around the corner, up the hill, 2-3 houses down, whatever. We've always lived close together and been very close knit. So moving here for me was a huge challenge. Leaving my babies was a huge challenge. That was probably the hardest part because I wasn't going to get to see them grow up like I did when I was there. But when I moved here, I was intentional about getting to know the community. Why? Because it was going to be home. And I had to figure out where I fit in, what my place would be in the community. How do I fit in what's already here and established? How do I make this feel like home for me? Because when you're at home, you take care of it. You want to see it look good and smell good and be clean and be kept up. The same thing should apply to your community. We have so many communities that are overrun with violence, with gangs, with poverty, with so many things, and nobody's doing anything to change that. People complain about it, but what can you do to change it? What can you do to make it better? How can you improve it? It's yours. You live there. And I always forget the scripture, but there's a part of scripture where the people are going to a new city, and the Lord tells them to go and take wives and husbands there to marry, to have children, and to pray for the prosperity of the city, because as they pray for the city, they'll be blessed. That's an easy way to provide community care. That doesn't take anything but a little bit of effort for you to pray for your city, your neighborhood, your region, your state, wherever you are. Because what we bombard heaven with is how our response comes. If we ain't saying nothing, what are we going to get back? Because we're not the only people praying and putting things out into the atmosphere. Think about that for a minute. Let that soak in. There's many places in the Bible where people were praying and their prayers were disrupted, where angels had come to deliver the answer but got held up by other powers in the air, by princes and principalities and ruling entities over those regions and areas, because God releases the answer as soon as you pray it. But sometimes you ain't got your answer because it's being held up. So, anywho, I'm going to let you chew on that for a minute. But, easy way to practice community care. Pray for your place of residence. Pray for your neighborhood, your city, your county, your community, your state, your region, the country. Pray for all of those things. But also get active. Get out into your community and make a mark. Leave an intentional mark on the people there. Don't just exist and take up space, especially if you complaining about how bad it is. Oh, there's nothing to do. It's boring here. Don't nobody ever this and it's all that and blah, blah, blah. What are you doing to change it? Because God gave each of us gifts, talents, abilities, anointings to do things, to be great at things. Some of us have an amazing ability to bring people together. Some of us are great at organizing things. Some of us are great at raising funds. Some of us are great at spreading awareness. Some of us are great at singing, dancing, whatever talents we have. If we pull all those things together and get back to the sense of community where we share things, where we work together, a lot of these situations could improve. A lot of communities could revert back to how it used to be when I was growing up. When we was little, everybody in our neighborhood knew everybody. LaToya was my neighbor. You live what, three or four doors down? When we was out in the neighborhood playing, if you was doing something wrong, whoever's parents saw you or caught you had the opportunity to yoke you up. But none of the kids went hungry. None of the kids were unsafe because everybody was watching for everybody. Whoever's mama told you, get out the road, it's a car coming, you better move. That's the sense of community that's missing now. You can't say nothing to nobody without them getting offended. If neighbors was having a hard time, you could go borrow a cup of sugar, some butter, a few potatoes, whatever. Now people don't even know their neighbors. You don't know the people who live beside you. They don't know you. I know my neighbors. The one on the corner, the one over here, and the ones across the street. I made it a point to introduce myself to them, to get to know them, to get their contact information. When I moved in, the neighbor that lives on the corner over that way, he told me, he was like, hey, if you ever need anything, I'm a DJ, I got a lawn care business, I got a party rental business, I got all kind of tools and ladders. He saw me outside with my little step stool trying to hang something up. One time he was like, I got ladders if you want to borrow one. He was like, just so you know, my cameras cover this side of your house. So if anything ever happens, I can see it. It's been a couple of times where I've heard strange noises in the middle of the night or whatever, and I'll go ask him, hey, Mr. Moon, did you hear such and such, so-and-so? One night I thought somebody was trying to get in my house. It was a loud banging, and I woke up, and it sounded like somebody was beating on my door, but it was some dummy out in the middle of the street shooting. Hey, Kevin. But Mr. Moon saw it. His cameras caught the whole thing. So the next morning, when I asked him, hey, did you hear that noise? Did you hear something around this time? He told me exactly what it was, where it was, what was going on. When I've had to go away to Kentucky, my neighbors have kept an eye on my house. One of my other friends came and got my mail for me, watered my plants, whatever. You got to have some people that you're connected to in community. They have barbecues, and his booth sells plates, and they do big parties when they watch sports. He sets the screen up outside and whatever. And one day they was out there cooking, and I was leaving. I said, I'll be back for my plate. He was like, okay. The neighbor on this side likes to throw parties. She's the social butterfly. She had the whole street blocked off. But if something going on, guess what? She know about it, honey. She hawk-eyed. Like them people, like the neighbors on 227, she don't miss nothing. She could probably tell me who pulled up in my driveway, what time, what color car they was driving, what they had on, and what they did while they was over there. She don't get in my business, but I know she know. She don't miss nothing because she be outside all the time. You got to know your neighbors. My neighbors across the street. The Pools, that sweet older couple. When my house flooded, they told me how to fix a few things and how to work around some things to take care of what I needed to take care of. They didn't have to do that, but they were kind because we neighbors. Hey, Minister Owens, how you doing? Good to see you. But, you know, it's good to have connections to your community. You never know what opportunities will come from being connected. But also making sure that you're not just taking, that you're giving something back, whether it's time, talent, treasure, presence, whatever. When people are doing things, show up and support them. Go out. If they're having a class, a workshop, a bake sale, a fundraiser, whatever, support folks because they'll show up for you. And I'm gonna talk about my old city, and I'm gonna call them out. And if they on here, just say ouch and amen because y'all know I'm not lying. I grew up in Lexington for most of my life. I lived in Savannah for a few years and moved back, and then I came here. Lexington does not support their own. They have cliques and certain groups that get all the support, but generally speaking, they don't. There's so much talent in the city that there should be Oscars, Grammys, Emmys, every award known. Is people in that city that could have it and deserve it because they're that talented, that gifted, but the city and the community doesn't get behind them and what they're doing. There are people who are boots on the ground working diligently to help get rid of gang violence, to help give these young people something to do who have been doing it for years. I'm not going to call names, but if you in the city, you know who I'm talking about. And I remember this one particular gentleman, when he started, he would have workshops and activities and events for the whole city. And certain group of people, a demographic would come out. But when he was doing things for the young people, it would be sparse. It may be 4 or 5 people in there. This man done built a whole library in honor of his daughter. He and his nonprofit not only get coats for the city, but for the whole state every year. He does a coat drive. The first year he did it, most of the coats he paid for out of his own pocket. And I remember having a conversation with him because even though I'm here, I still try to support what he's doing because I appreciate his efforts and the hard work that he puts in to do what he does. And that goes for anybody that's doing something positive, not just him, but I'm just using him as an example. He was discouraged because he was having to fund it on his own. And I told him, I said, you just keep going. I said, because the Lord sees what you're trying to do and he's going to honor that effort. This is going to be the last year that you pay for it out of your own pocket. And I think he's been doing this now for probably, I know it, I've been here for 10 years and he was doing it before I came here. So I would say probably at least 13 years, 12, 13 years. He doesn't have to pay for it out of his own pocket anymore. People have gotten on board to support him. And I'll be honest and say a lot of it didn't come from our community initially. It was here. But support is support. And that's another thing. We as a community have to get back to being a community. So many other ethnic groups and races stick together and support their own. We don't. We're always competing and trying to tear each other down and forgetting that there's room enough for all of us to shine. There's room enough for all of us to be great. Even if you're doing the same thing, you're going to do it uniquely as you. So if somebody else is having a podcast, invite them to be a guest on yours. Maybe they'll invite you to be a guest on theirs. Inspire each other. Work together. Just because you're doing the same thing don't mean there's not an audience for both of you. You may not even be catering to the same people. But that's why we as a collective aren't as far ahead as we should be. Because instead of building each other up and sharing resources and knowledge and being a community, we're separatist. We do everything in our own power, on our own might, or try to. And a lot of times we fail, or we're not as successful as we could be because we don't work together, because we're not a collective. And what's coming to my mind is the principles of Kwanzaa. We don't exercise those. Whether you celebrate Kwanzaa as a holiday or not, the principles ring true. So think about that as you're building, as you're working, as you're serving. What have you really truly accomplished 100% on your own? For me, I can say nothing. Absolutely nothing, because I've had help every step of the way. I've had great community. I have an amazing village. And even when I came here, I got a whole new branch of the village that has jumped on board and embraced me and loved on me and supported me and encouraged me and showed up for me, because I do that for them. I go support other people's events. I help with their activities, their fundraisers, their whatever they're doing. I show up. And sometimes that's all you got to do is show up. But we can't keep going without pouring back into our communities, because they're dying. Which means the children that grow up in them are going to be lesser, because they don't have the resources, the opportunities, the elders to pour in, to build up like we had. When I was growing up, my Aunt Pauline and my Uncle Forrest was the community parents. They didn't have any children of their own, but they was the community mama and daddy. They blessed everybody and anybody. Feed you, wash your clothes, put a few dollars in your pocket, give you a place to stay if you needed it. Aunt Pauline got up every morning at like 4 o'clock and started frying bacon. And then nobody lived in her house but her and her husband. But she would cook probably 2-3 pounds of bacon every morning. Because guess what? She knew somebody was going to come by hungry. She kept gallons of Tang in her deep freeze. I watched it growing up. I watched the people come in and out of their house and find a safe place and a home. Even if they had parents, they were still that for the community and loved it. If you came and ate all her food, guess what she was going to do? Send her husband to the store to get some more and make sure you had enough to eat. And he was going to go if he had to walk. But we don't have that anymore. We don't have communities like that anymore. My family has always been like that. My mama would tell you, she said, boy, we got more nieces and nephews and cousins, and because we would take in everybody. We would love on everybody. And growing up, all of my friends and my cousins' friends, whatever we called our family members, that's what they call them. My Aunt Carol was Aunt Carol. My cousin's friends, my mama was Aunt Mary. Granny was everybody's granny. Right. Listen, that fried chicken and that bacon with a good old cup of Tang, my Lord. People don't know about that. If you grew up in Lebanon and you was in Rosenwald Village or anywhere in the city, you probably knew my Aunt Pauline and Uncle Forrest. They probably done fed you a time or two. But, you know, I appreciate being able to see that growing up, to see that type of love for community. And like I said, they didn't have any children of their own. But when both of them passed away, their funerals was packed out. Everybody came to show their respects, to show their love for them, and to speak about the impact they had on their lives. And Aunt Pauline's was a comedy show. Everybody was telling jokes and funny stories, and folks at Uncle Forrest folks was falling out on the casket, and you know, it was a testament to how loved they were and the impact they left in their community. And I can only pray that when it's my time, I have that same impact, that same legacy that they left behind. Not just for individuals, but for the community. When my mama passed away, my friend, a couple of my friends from here in Daytona came up, but my friend was like, man, she said, Mama Mary brought out the city. She said everybody was in there. She said, your mama was a boss. She said, I ain't even know. I said, yeah. I said, my mama touched a whole lot of people and knew a lot of people. I said, and sometimes you don't see that impact tangibly until somebody leaves here. And the same thing with my dad. When my dad passed away, I met so many people who came and talked about the things that he had done in the community. He coached basketball. He helped repair people's homes. He helped build things. When I was younger, my dad worked in construction, and there was a big, like a big skyscraper that was being built downtown. And there was an accident. The crane operator dropped some beams and they fell on my dad. If he had been standing up, he would have been dead. But it fell on his legs and injured like his legs and hips and stuff. But miracle that he survived. And even in that, he continued to work in construction and help rebuild homes and repair homes and upkeep the community, help keep kids out of trouble in Louisville. My family in Louisville's in the West End. If you know anything about that, you know it goes down in the West End. It's not the safest of places. My grandmama got bars on her window. She been living there for probably longer than I've been alive. But grandmama got a corner with all her sticks and bats and weapons in it, and she keep that peace be still real close by. If that tell you about the community. So, you know, but my dad was there working and serving and helping people. And now I get to see my brothers do the same thing. My niece do the same thing. My younger brother opened a grocery store. It's a hybrid. It's like the front end is like a corner store and the back end is a full service grocery store with a hot bar and a deli, because my grandma's neighborhood is a food desert. There's only one grocery store in the area. She lives at 34th and Vermont. A lot of the stuff around there closed down because it kept getting robbed. So he opened a store. It's named after our dad in her neighborhood. So people can go there and get snacks and groceries and essentials. And every year, I think the whole store has officially been open for just a few months now, probably about 6 months. But he's been working on it for a couple of years. And this past year was the second year that they did a backpack and school supply drive. Him and my older brother and my niece. My niece is a chef. My older brother owns an auto body repair shop. They get together every year and give away school supplies and backpacks and all of those things. And they cook and give out food just to give back to the community. So what are you doing? What are you giving back? How are you helping improve things? What are you giving back, or are you just taking? Or are you just taking up space? We all have something that we can give back to our community, because there's a point in time where it holds us up. It holds us together. There's been times where I've needed to go and get school supplies or food or go to the food bank or whatever. Not always, but there were times, and I appreciated the times when I was able to go and give back and donate food or money or whatever, because those resources are there in your times of need. But if we don't ever give back to any of those things, find a way to volunteer, find a way to give something to somebody. Because guess what? No matter what you give, you can't beat God while you giving it, because He's going to return it back to you. The Bible says when you give, men will give back to your bosom. Pressed down, running over, shaken together. That's a whole lot. That means it's more than what you gave. When you think about when you got a trash can and it's full, what you do? Press it down so you can put some more in there. That's how men are going to give back to you when you give. So don't be stingy. And it doesn't have to just be money, because we may not have money to give, but we got time, we have knowledge, we have wisdom, we have experience. Some of us have space. We have clothes that we don't wear or can't fit anymore that are still nice. We have things in our house that somebody else may need or could use. I keep a running pile to donate. I got pictures and artwork. I got clothes, shoes, all kind of stuff. I don't really have too many other household items because I don't buy things that I don't use. And when I do, I donate them. Get it out of here. I don't keep stuff that I don't need, because somebody else might need it. Love you too, Miss Avis. But, we all have something that we can give. Ebony is an educator. She pour out to them babies. Bless her heart. She give all the time. All the time. And I already got gifts for Teacher Appreciation Week, because I had her and my other teacher friends on my mind. I ordered them months ago. So just know when it's your turn, it's coming. But even that's a simple way to give back to the community. Love on somebody who has a thankless job. A nurse, a banker, a firefighter, a teacher, a counselor. Somebody who doesn't get told thank you often, but does a lot of work. When I was in Lexington and we had the outreach ministry that I started with my family, we took baskets to the hospital and gave them to the nurses station, to the firefighters. We took some to the nursing home, to a bunch of places. We did a lot of outreach things just to show the love of Christ. The ministry was called Loved Right. And the premise was when you're loved right, it always points you back to Christ. Because the Bible says, how will we know that we're His disciples? The love we have for one for another. So we made an effort to show the love of Christ. We gave out coats and scarves and gloves when it was cold. We helped another ministry serve food to the homeless. We collected clothes. We even did a seed drive one time for an organization that was helping start community gardens, and we were able to donate over 250 packs of seeds. So there's lots of ways that you can give back. All of them, there's a lot of ways. If you got space and land, you could start a community garden or start a garden and grow food for people who are food challenged, for the elderly, for people who are in need. It's a lot of ways you can give back. But we definitely have to, especially with the political climate of things right now and where they're headed, we got to get back to a sense of community. We got to get back to sharing our resources and knowledge. And that's one of the things that I'm going to be talking about with these ministry leaders in this workshop this weekend and on the 7th. As churches, stop competing. Utilize one another. Utilize the resources in each other's house. Because it's only one body. And all the parts got to work together. So, anywho, think about how you can give back and care for your community. And just to give a quick thank you for when it has cared for you. If you don't know where your place is in your community, I encourage and challenge you to get out and explore. Take a hard look at your community and see what the needs are. When I first moved here, I didn't have a job, so I was very intentional about, 1, learning my way around, 2, getting a sense for the community and what the needs were, because I know God sent me here. I didn't just come haphazardly or show up because, Daytona Beach, that's where I want to be. No, the Lord sent me here. So I knew it was for purpose. So I was intentional about observing the needs of the community and the things that were prevalent. What I saw here, a generational poverty mindset. I saw a lot of people who had stopped dreaming, who felt stuck. There was a sense that there's no money here, which is the furthest thing from the truth. People feel like, this is a place where old people come to retire. And yes, it is, but that's not all that's here. And a lot of it has to do with mindset. A lot of the people who grew up here that I met haven't really been a lot of places outside of here. Some of them have never even left the state of Florida before. So this is all they know. They haven't been exposed to other communities, other cities, other cultures per se. So sometimes coming from the outside in, you can see things that people who've been here for a long time can't. Even coming here, I gained a whole new appreciation for home. Because I always felt like I wasn't supposed to be in Kentucky, that I was supposed to live somewhere else. I was like, I got to get out of here. This ain't it. But, and I tried to escape a couple of times, but I had to wait for God to send me. And when he did, everything lined up. But even in that sending and being obedient to come, I gained a whole new appreciation for home, the things that I learned there. Home, Lexington is a testing ground, spiritually, financially. If you can survive in Lexington, if you can grow something there, a business, a ministry, or whatever, it's a hard place. If you can do it there, you can do it anywhere. Restaurants come there for testing. That's why there's so much food there. A lot of people don't know that, but they come there for testing to see if they can make it in that market, and then they go expand other places. That's why some of them leave. But you got to know your community. One Sunday I may do spiritual mapping. Maybe I'll do that for next Sunday, for the last Sunday, because it's spiritual self-care. So I'll talk a little bit about spiritual mapping and why that's important. Hey. But find ways to give back to your community, because you want that to be reciprocal. You want to be able to glean things from your community, but you also want to be able to give back, plant some seeds, leave some footprints. Hey, Angela, and let them know that, hey, I'm here. I'm not here just taking up everything. I'm giving back too, even if it's one person at a time. Whatever it is that you have to give, so fruit will keep growing and being produced. The things that I do and put together, the workshops, the classes, all of that, that's part of my way of giving back to the community. Sometimes people show up, sometimes they don't. Either way, I do it. I give it. I prepare it, because I know it's going to help somebody, even if only one person shows up. Hey, girl, I said hey. But and if you are doing things and giving back, don't be discouraged if the numbers are small, if you're hosting something and not a lot of people show up, because you're planting seeds and you never know how big the seed that you plant in that one person will become. Because you plant the seed in that person and they take that seed and plant seeds in 15 other people. And those 15 people take that seed and plant it in 45, 50 other people. So you done grew a whole forest. And you was worried about only 3 people showing up. The numbers don't matter. It's for who it's for. So whatever you're doing, do it with the same level of excellence if it's 2 people or 2,000. Because you got to start somewhere. Don't despise small beginnings. My friend that I mentioned earlier that started with, that did the coat drive, he started very small. And now he collects coats for the entire state of Kentucky. So think about that mustard seed, how little it is. Like, you can literally do like this and pick up a whole bunch of seeds. That's how teeny tiny they are. But when those seeds grow, they grow over 7-8 feet tall. They get huge. So the thing that you think is small that you're planting is huge. It's a giant in the spirit. You don't know how big that thing is going to grow and the impact and the reach that it will have. Just do it. If you're afraid, do it anyway. If you're scared that it's not going to be successful, do it anyway. If you're worried about the resources or how you're going to pay for it, trust God and do it anyway. Tap into your community and connect with some people who have the resources you don't have. When it's things I'm trying to do that I don't know how to do, let me see who I can call who know how to do this, or know somebody who know how to do it, or got a friend or know somebody that knows somebody. Connections are the greatest resource you have. Because even if you don't know how to do it, somebody in your circle does. And if they don't, they know somebody who does. I have friends who are artists and painters, who are graphic designers, who are singers, who are professional actors and comedians, realtors, attorneys. One of my friends who's an attorney, she was on, I was scrolling through the channels one day, and she's on one of the cold case shows explaining the facts in the case. I was like, look at my friend. I was so excited. You never know who is connected to who is connected to who is connected to who. It's some folks that's on TV that's NAACP award winners, that's Grammy nominated, that I'm cool with, that we did programs together in high school, that I know them personally and I can say, hey. So it pays to stay connected to your community, to continue to foster those healthy relationships. My mentee is building a nonprofit and doing a lot of things with the arts. And as he was talking about what he wants to do, I was like, oh, I know, I got somebody for you for that. I know somebody who's an expert in this. I know somebody I can recommend for that, to help you with these things. Just by talking. I helped him fill in some blanks and recommended some people. I was like, when you're ready, I'm going to send them to you. You're welcome, Ebony. Thank you so much. But, you know, we all have things that are valuable, that help our communities be better, that help our young people and the next generation after us be better. Think about all the things that were passed down to you from elders, from other people, the wisdom, the knowledge, the skill set, the things that you learn from other folks. Discipleship comes from many places, and I'm not just talking Bible and spiritual discipleship. We all learn from many sources. So keep that in mind as you're going about your day-to-day. Think about how you can give back and what seeds you're planting. All right, so that's all I got for this week. Oh, y'all pray for me. I'd have made some diabetic tea. Woo! Listen, if that don't clean my blood and kill everything out, that tea's so strong it could knock out a horse. I was like, ooh wee, my God. If you've ever had what is it, bitter melon, Cereseed tea, y'all know it's a booger bear. But I am tackling my health journey naturally because I didn't want to be on all the medication and all of that, and I was tired of fighting with the insurance companies and whatever. So I got my little herbs and my natural medicine, and I'll show y'all one of my latest book purchases. Y'all know I'm a book nerd. So I got this book, The Holistic Guide to Wellness, and it has a whole protocol in here for a lot of different things, but the particular one I'm doing is the diabetes protocol, and it tells you what herbs to take, when to take them, what they do, the benefits, all that good stuff. So if anybody's like me and they get real bad side effects from big farm medicine and you're looking for natural ways to heal and take care of your body, go on and grab that book. It's great. I may get an extra one and give it away as a prize later on one of these months. So, but you know, you're around the corner. You can come and we can copy the pages for you. I ain't gonna lend it out to you because I don't lend my books out no more. People don't give them back. But I got a copier. You can copy the pages and whatever you need. But yeah, it's a really good book. And it does a good job of explaining what the herbs are, what their benefits are, how you should take it, and all of that good stuff. Dr. Sebi's is another good one too. He's real big on herbal remedies and alkaline and all that good stuff. So this author has another book as well called The Forgotten Home Apothecary that has like all the herbal tinctures and different stuff in that. I got that one too. So if you know me, you know books are my love. I told I told my boyfriend, I said, buy me books and tell me I'm pretty and you'll win my heart. But anyway, that's our inside joke, but I really do mean it. So make sure that you are reading and studying and doing your own research and things like that to advocate for your health and your body. That's just my little side soapbox, because these doctors will be quick to write you a prescription and not tell you all the things that happen with these medications. I'm irritated with my doctor right now, but I appreciate her for being honest with me and talking to me about side effects and symptoms and educating me about different things when it comes to my body and diabetes and what insulin does. This is the first time I had ever heard somebody say insulin is a growth hormone. It'll keep you from losing weight. It will shut down your pancreas so that you have to become dependent on it. How many doctors gonna tell you that? That's the first one I've ever heard. And half of my other family was diabetic. I ain't never heard none of that from nowhere. So I commend her for that. I appreciate that. But that encouraged me to start doing my own research and finding out the best way to heal my body. So I hope that you do the same and that you advocate for yourself. Me and her go around. She be trying to give me stuff and I be like, no, I'm not taking that. No, I'm not getting that shot. No, my body don't do well with that. Absolutely not. Thank you, but no. And be okay with saying no and telling them you're not going to take something. Because they'll try to push it on you and not talk to you about the side effects, what it does, what it means. None of that. They try to, she was like, we need your cholesterol to come down some more. Okay, cool. No problem. If it doesn't come down, we're going to put you on a statin. No, you're not. You can write that prescription all day long, but that don't mean I'm going to take it. So she gave me a natural supplement that kind of does the same thing. That stuff made my head hurt. I couldn't sleep. I said, oh no, we're not taking that no more. So guess what? All the good stuff that's in this book, that's in the diabetes protocol, it does all of that. It helps lower cholesterol, lipids. everything. So when you read and you research and you know for yourself, God will lead you in a direction to take care of and heal your own body using what he put here, because that's where all the medicine came from anyway. So this stuff is nasty. This right here, this and the Cereseed tea, this is American ginseng. It's a tincture in a liquid form. I might need to get some powder or eat it or something, because Lord have mercy. But if it do what it's supposed to do, we all right. I can take a little nasty drop or something if it's going to help heal my body. So, anywho, that's my side note soapbox. Take care of yourselves. Make sure you're getting your labs done and all of your annuals and getting everything checked. If something feels off in your body, don't ignore it. Don't ignore it, especially men folks, because y'all don't like to go to the doctor. I have a friend who recently was diagnosed with cancer, with prostate cancer, and went back for some more testing, and they found spots on his liver. So please make sure you're getting your annuals done, get your colonoscopy, get whatever you're supposed to have done. Ladies, get your mammograms. Men, if something feels off in your chest, you can get one too. Because you'll get an ultrasound unless you got moobs, but you can do breast exams, because men can get breast cancer as well. You have breast tissue, it's just not the same as ours. Also, Melissa says she found the book on Libby for free. And let me tell you, since she mentioned that, if y'all don't know what Libby is, it is an app that allows you to borrow ebooks from your library and other libraries. If you have a library card, you can go in and put in your information, and it connects you to the library so you can borrow books through there, ebooks, audio books, all kinds of good stuff. And there's a couple of other apps that are very similar that will let you borrow from like the big libraries, and you don't necessarily have to have a library card there. So play around with it. You can always find free resources online. Sometimes you can find PDFs of books or free e-versions. If you have Kindle Unlimited or Prime, sometimes you can catch books in there for really, really cheap. Sometimes you can get them for free or like 99 cents. So take a look and see what you can find. You use all the tools in the toolbox. I'm all for that. But I hope y'all have an amazing week. Make some time for self-care. Think about how you can be a blessing to your community, even if it's ways that it has blessed you and you reciprocate that. If you can donate some canned goods, if you can donate some cleaning supplies or personal care items, because a lot of times food banks and places don't get a lot of those. Socks are the most needed items at homeless shelters. One of my friends does an annual sock drive every year, and she donates socks to multiple homeless and DV shelters in different places. And I think last time she collected like almost 3,000 pairs of socks. So, there's lots of ways you can help out. All right. So y'all be blessed. Don't forget, I will be giving away the prize. So leave me a comment. Let me know you were here so your name can go in the drawing. And I have some other good things coming up. So stay tuned. I got some books to give away for some kiddos too. So if y'all got kids and they like to read, drop their name in the comments, because I got some books that I purposely bought to give away to some kiddos. I have some elementary age books, probably somewhere between 1st and 3rd grade, and a couple that are a little bit older. So if you got kiddos in that range, drop their names in the comments or send me a message and say, hey, send my baby some books. All right. So I love y'all. Have an awesome, awesome week. And make sure you come back and hang out with me next week. Don't forget to share this with somebody and leave me a review if you haven't already. See y'all soon.